No. How could they? They nerfed the flamethrower. It went from 27 studs to 26. I'm gonna go over the new guns and how to use them, and also talk about the balance changes, if you should use these weapons or not. So first, we got this energy launcher. It deals like only 20 damage if you hit the person directly, but it deals 60 damage if the bullet like bounces off the wall. Kind of like that. I did definitely just steal your kill. The energy rifle is kind of complicated to use. It will take a lot of practice to get used to. Sometimes as well, yeah, it does just go right through the person. Buddy, why are you just looking backwards? That's not how you use a knife. A good way to get critical hits on this gun is just hitting it from the floor. Although it still is kind of hard just to hit it from the floor. But it is still easier than hitting it from the wall. Honestly, the hitboxes on this do kind of suck. Sometimes it does land and then sometimes it doesn't. It's really weird. And no, it doesn't give you like headshot damage just by hitting the head. As you see, I'm hitting headshot damage, but it's not really giving me the headshot. By the way, it isn't a complete bad idea to, you know, hit them just directly if you really need to. But it is definitely a hard weapon to use. It'll take some time to get used to. I didn't even backstab him. I just got the trowel. That's also another thing that got buffed. The Slingshot, which I'll talk about later on. Now, this doesn't bounce infinite amount of times. I think this only bounced 3 times. I mean, yeah, that's the max amount of times it can actually bounce. But overall, is this weapon really worth using? Not really. Most people choose open maps, and you're not really going to have a good opportunity to use this. And even in maps like Backrooms, you can just use guns like Flamethrower or RPG and get way more consistency with it. But in the future, if they buff the hitbox on this, it'll actually be a pretty good weapon. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention about the rifle as well is that it has infinite ammo. So you don't ever need to reload. You can kind of just spam it. But the thing is, it doesn't make that much of a difference because I wouldn't recommend spamming it because it kind of gives away your location. So now we're on the pistols. And, what is your plan? Oh, no, I can just do that. Okay. Now, the pistols seem pretty good. They also do have infinite ammo, so you could just spam this thing, which would be pretty useful, especially if you ran out of ammo on your main gun. This is definitely like a good weapon to switch to. If the enemy's ever out of ammo, you could always just spam this. But I don't have to let go at all. I can just do this the entire time. That also does mean you can pre-fire this thing pretty well. But I don't recommend using this weapon just alone. Again, this is meant to be a secondary weapon, so it isn't meant to be a very powerful weapon. I don't think this gun actually has any damage drop-off, so that does mean you can go as far as you want and still deal the same amount of damage. So if anything, this is a very good long-range weapon. So I recommend using this weapon from a very far distance. Which I'm pretty sure Rivals didn't mean to, like, you know, make this weapon have no damage drop-off at all. But none of the energy weapons do have damage drop-off, so maybe that's just, like, part of the theme. But overall, this weapon is actually pretty good. I was going to say this is garbage, but it is actually pretty decent, especially at range. I am dying quite a fair bit, mainly because everyone else is using primary weapons, and I'm using a secondary. For a secondary, though, it still is pretty good, and I do think it is the best secondary in the game at the moment. Is the energy pistols worth getting? I'd say so. At close range, it might not be very good, but at long range, this thing will shred. So I do definitely recommend picking it up. That is like 400 keys though. So be ready to grind for the next 2 months. Now the next weapon, the crossbow. I think personally my favorite weapon of this update. It feels like a sniper that you don't have to aim in. It does kill pretty slow, but like it is a crossbow. It's not like an actual gun, so it kind of does make sense. So why are you just shooting flare guns at me? I will say the hitbox on the crossbow is kind of weird. I can't tell if it's hit scan or projectile base. The only issue is I am like out of ammo, so like I kind of, you know. But yeah, if anything, I say this is less close to the bow and more close to the sniper, which you don't really have to aim in. This is just 100% accuracy, even if you hit fire with this. Which, yeah, you can aim in, but to be honest, I feel like it makes the weapon harder to aim if you do that. Although I will say, this gun is better to use in open range maps and not like close range ones. But overall, the crossbow, I definitely will say, is worth getting. If you're good at aiming, again, I'd recommend getting that weapon. It's a very good alternative to the sniper if you don't like aiming in. Ever since the flamethrower got nerfed, I noticed more people have been using it, so I think it's a good time to now actually speak about the weapon. So they nerfed the flamethrower from 27 studs to 26 studs, which you may or may not know how much of a difference that is, and don't worry, I'll show you. Now, I've got this game to showcase how much 27 to 26 studs is. This is 27 studs. And then here's 26. It is practically nothing. In fact, this tiny cube here is the little amount of difference this actually makes. And here's like a closer example to show you how much of a difference it really makes. You see this little gap? That's the difference of the nerf. I'm not joking. They went like this. This is too far. We gotta make it like this. So yeah, that's how much of a difference 27 to 26 studs is. It is practically nothing. To be honest, I wouldn't even classify it as a nerf. They just give the flamethrower a tap on the wrist and that's it. So is flamethrower worth getting? 100%. Like, a very 100%. It's also very good if you want to counteract people with the knife. Ever since I started making videos on the knife, a lot of people started to use the knife. So if you ever feel like someone's trying to backstab you so much, you can always air blast them away. And to be honest, there's not really much a knife person can do against that because they removed the grenade jump. Well, not entirely, but you'll see what I mean. Look in this clip that I'm able to jump with the grenade near instantly. Oh, wonderful. But if I try to do that trick now, it doesn't work. So yeah, you can't quick grenade jump anymore, which is very unfortunate. Oh, you think you're safe? No! They did buff the slingshot, which, to be honest, why? This thing was annoying enough as it is. They did change a couple of things. The one thing I do remember, they changed the hitbox from like, what, 0.75 studs to 5. So that means the hitbox got like a 6 times increase. But yeah, the slingshot is very good, especially since it can headshot as well. And buddy, why are you staying in there? You know what my slingshot does, right? It bounces off of walls. Now, there isn't many walls in this map, or unless if someone's inside. But this gun is already pretty easy to aim, and not only just that, it bounces off of walls. So that means even if you miss, you still have a chance of hitting this gun. But yeah, if you don't have the energy pistols, I could also recommend using this. Also, I swear I just tagged someone like 5 seconds after I just shot. I think this is right behind the energy pistols. Sorry, you stand no chance. I'm even hitting this bacon, which I like no intent on hitting, by the way. If you're in an open map, use the energy pistols. But if you're in a close range map, then use the slingshot. They both have their own use. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that's everything in this update. I know what you're gonna say. I know what you're gonna say. Don't worry. I'll tell you. The revolver nerf practically means nothing. It's just the weapon got slightly balanced and that's it. It still is one of the best secondaries in the game. So yes, this is very worth getting. The weapon just now actually has a rival.